My name's Alfred Pennyworth, by the way.
Happy Wondercon, everyone. They're dropping trailers for everything. This is the teaser trailer for that Batman prequel series based on Alfred Pennyworth. So I'll explain what's going on with it. It'll feel very familiar if you ever watched the Peggy Carter TV show that did a younger version of Jarvis right after he got out of the British SAS and started working for a young Howard Stark.
Oh, we haven't had the pleasure, but we may yet. You're coming with me.
I know. I should have called first. Did you miss me?
So the difference is this is taking place during the 1960s, so obviously it's much later in history. There's a very young version of Thomas Wayne that you see during the trailer. There's all kinds of stuff coming up. We found out when Swamp Thing, that TV show, is going to be dropping, when Young Justice is coming back, so I'll explain all the big news from WonderCon at the end of the video, but be sure to subscribe to get everything if you're brand new to the channel. The Batman prequel show is going to be on the Epix channel. It'll be 10 episodes, but because it's cable, it'll be way more hardcore. Like, you see the very violent, sexed up, young version of Alfred, very different from the more modern portrayals like Michael Caine or Alfred Goff, or the animated version of the character, or even Jeremy Irons' version of the character more recently.
You're getting slow in your old age, Alfred.
Comes to us all, Master Wayne. Even you got too old to die young. And not for lack of trying.
But most of you are probably familiar a little bit with his backstory based on Batman the Animated Series. It is one of the few series that's actually touched on Alfred's life before he became a butler working for Thomas Wayne and the Wayne family. This is meant to be that story. I don't know how many seasons it's going to wind up running, but the description just reads, it chronicles the early adventures of Bruce Wayne's legendary butler Alfred Pennyworth, played by Jack Bannon here, by picking up with the character in his 20s in England when he's fresh from a stint as a British SAS character. Alfred Pennyworth's Gotham City destiny begins to take shape when he accepts a security job with a young American tycoon named Thomas Wayne, played by Ben Aldridge, this character here with the mustache, who is not yet the father to Bruce Wayne. So Batman has not been born yet at this point. This is the 1960s, so depending on how old you feel like Batman is in present day, you can guess on when Batman's going to be born, because he's perpetually in his 20s in most cases, with the exception of Ben Affleck's Batman, who was a 40-something Batman. The teaser trailer is just meant to give you big, wide, sweeping shots of London landscape and monuments, paraphernalia, to let you know where you are. This character here is Jason Fleming. He's going to be the main villain. His name is Lord Harwood, but he's not a character from the comics. Presumably, he's involved with Thomas Wayne and Wayne Enterprises on some business and maybe political level, something that threatens the UK and America. This is his personal assassin. This person is Bet Sykes, who seems like she's going to be Alfred's love interest when he was young. Most of the movies haven't really addressed his personal relationships before he met the Wayne family. They got into it a little bit during the Joel Schumacher era in Batman and Robin when they introduced the Batgirl character and she had a prior relationship through her family to Alfred. In fact, while I was making this video, I rewatched a clip of Batman and Robin where they're talking about a Peg. There's a Peg during the series. Like I say, he's kissing this woman that might be his love interest, Peg, but the Peg from Batman and Robin was actually his sister, because in the Joel Schumacher timeline, he had a sister. That sister eventually had a grandchild named Barbara Wilson, and that wound up being this version of Batgirl.
Mom by my bed. Peg?
My nickname for sweet Margaret.
It's good to see you again. I've missed you.
As I have you. Sleep well, child.
You sleep. Go to bed.
Until they say otherwise, I'm assuming they're trying to keep the series in continuity with the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy. Usually when most series draw references, they draw on that, unless you're another one of the DCEU movies like Shazam, so you're mostly making references to Justice League and the other more recent films. As you can see, it's meant to premiere during the summer. I think it's either going to be June or early July. They'll be dropping a much bigger trailer when we get closer to Avengers Endgame at the end of the month, so I'll do another video when that drops and we'll get a better sense for what the actual story is. But just a reminder, they do have an app that you can watch their channel on, but you might have to check a little bit depending on where you live. I don't know how it's available outside of the United States, so just do some checking, because we've had issues with that with the DC Universe streaming shows, because right now that service is only in the United States, so you kind of have to wait for the shows to hit Netflix if you live somewhere else. You may remember the classic episode of Batman the Animated Series called The Lion and the Unicorn, which basically dealt with Alfred's life as a SAS officer, so he's called back into action by one of his friends who needs his help. The villain of the episode was Red Claw, who was trying to get her hands on a doomsday weapon left over from World War II called Project Excalibur. Alfred and his old compatriot are the only ones that still have the code. The code winds up being the Lion and the Unicorn, so they sort of have to save London and the UK from this giant doomsday weapon. So Alfred gets to be a badass for an episode.
Here I thought all you dusted was furniture. A Louis XV. What a pity. Goodness me.
You may also remember the time that he flew the Batwing. He was a pilot during the war, so he is a decent pilot, but flying a plane is very different from flying something like the Batwing.
And you bucket of bolts.
Your funeral.
Oh dear. Ah!
Son of a gun. Watch your step.
I claim this land for Spain.
I think the idea with the new TV show is that because it's cable, they can be like Netflix and just do whatever they want. It's not like Gotham on Fox. They don't have to tune the violence or the sex or the craziness way down, so we'll get a much better look when they drop that full trailer. But speaking of footage, they've been showing off all kinds of footage for the other DC streaming shows that are coming later this year. They showed off footage for Swamp Thing, which is going to be our first genuine DC horror series, not counting Constantine. I'm talking about legit horror, so they filmed that down in Louisiana. So we'll get a trailer for that sometime next month, but it'll premiere after Game of Thrones ends in May. It'll be May 31st, so I'll do a video when they drop a trailer for that. Should be in the next couple of weeks sometime. They also dropped a first look at Stargirl. That series probably won't drop till next year because it was originally going to come in the fall, but they said that Titan Season 2 is coming in the fall, but they're rolling out Deathstroke, Ravager, Jericho, and Connor Kent Superboy, as you all know. I've already done a couple videos about that. But these are what the actors look like out of costume. We'll probably get a preview of them because they just started filming this season. Probably not going to get a trailer for that till Comic-Con later in July, like we got the Titan Season 1 trailer at Comic-Con last year. So same deal this year. I'll do a video for it when it drops, but if you have any special requests, just let me know in the comments below. The Stargirl TV show is actually supposed to be more of a Justice Society TV show, but she's just the lead character, so that's why they're calling it Stargirl. That's her robot, Stars and Stripes, from the comics behind her. If you remember, they did a version of the Justice Society and Stargirl on Legends of Tomorrow, but this looks like a huge upgrade from that. There will be a trailer for Batman Hush tomorrow. I'll do a video for that. It should be up in the morning. While you wait for everything, click here for my non-spoilery Shazam review, and click here for all my other Shazam trailer videos. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.